Hello there. So the top news of August 14th is this Abraham Lincoln, USS Abraham Lincoln, having some kind of mass hysteria going on with people trying to jump overboard. One person actually jumping off the carrier, and to me, when I see this, that you know another Lincoln, because there's been so much news around Lincoln Memorial Pool, right? Lincoln Memorial Pool. Uh, every week, almost every day, Lincoln, 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 Lincoln Memorial Pool, every day. Now there is a sort of reports of mass hysteria, similar situation of people, as I said, like this is in the top news. People trying to jump overboard on Lincoln. Someone actually jumping overboard. People trying to jump overboard, and food shortage. So when I see this, what am I thinking about? Like I already started talking about that. To me, this is obvious what's going on, and I see this as a sort of continuation of the memetics and the influence of the Lincoln Memorial Pool. This carrier here, Lincoln, USS Abraham Lincoln, is in a pool of the ocean. Okay, so we have still, like, think about symbology. What kind of symbology is visible here? Well, you have the pool of the water that the carrier that Lincoln is in. Okay, so it's the same kind of keywords, like similar keywords, water. So what's happening? Well, there, as I see it, there is an insanity around the Lincoln Memorial Pool. There is an insanity. And what I do on my channel is that I do drawings that depict the future. Let me quickly show my drawing of the Lincoln Memorial Pool, right? What was that? It was, where is it? Here it is. This one, right? I painted it before the paint peeled away. I posted about it on X a lot, and my account is now suspended on X, permanently suspended. I am not welcome because I confessed that I cut into the Lincoln Memorial Pool 2 days before. 2 days before it happened. 2 days before first reports. This is true. This is what's happened. Okay, this is a motif of Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, and I cut into it. Okay. What's happening, in my opinion, is an insanity. Okay? You have insanity going on here. The insanity is connected to the word Lincoln. Link and the water. Okay? I started to think about this because this is what I did. And what's happening on the internet around, like, because when thinking about what's going on here, what you need to do is to think about what more is happening in the world and realize that it's all connected. Okay, you need to realize that, and it's not hard. It's not hard to come to this realization. Just look on what just happened. What has been in the top news every day, almost, and it's the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, right? And now the insanity is moving here. People are jumping overboard, or are trying to jump overboard, as The Guardian writes. Sailors tried to jump overboard. Sailor went overboard. Food shortages. So this is um, mass hysteria, insanity, and as I see it, why? Why is there insanity? Because no one can feel that they were right about the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. If you start looking into that subject, the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, you will, first of all, most of you that don't comment here, you're going to reject my drawing, okay? And then after you rejected it, it's hard to figure out what's going on. Why is it hard to figure out what's going on when it comes to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool? Well, because there is a bit of causality in what I did. And when there is a bit of causality, like causality as in this drawing actually tearing the pool apart, okay? This drawing, 2 days before it's kind of, you could call it magic, right? But I don't need to talk like that. We don't need to talk like that. Magic. Why? Why don't I want to say magic? It's because there's a lot of there's a lot of talkers, people just talking, and people that like to talk, they like to use pretty words, and magic is a pretty word. So therefore, I'm trying to be a bit boring and not use the word magic, because other people will use that word. So why am I trying to be boring? Well, because it's easier to focus on evidence and what's actually happening. It's easy, like, and if someone, I'm always thinking about how would people mimic what I do, but in a fraudulent way, like in a fake way, mimic. How is that done? Okay, I start to think like that. And well, what you do is that you take those pretty words like magic and other pretty words, like even talking about, pretty words. You take that or people take that and try to mimic that. And what I want to do is to just show you what I'm doing, okay? And it's not possible to do that if I use too much words like magic, Okay, whatever. I don't want to talk about that. Anyhow, as I said, what's going on here? There's a mass hysteria, okay? What is the reason for the mass hysteria? The reason is insanity, psychological instability, and the fascination that everyone that, like, if you're seeing this video here, you know that the top news has been about the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. So Lincoln. It's been about this. And it's been about water, right? The pool. But in this case, we have pool of the ocean. Right? And what's happening is that these top news connect. When they connect, it doesn't mean that it is a fake world. Okay? When things connect to each other, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a simulation, this world. It's just the nature of mathematics, patterns, that things remind of each other. If you start to think too much about simulation theory, you will be a defeatist. You will feel defeated. This is counterproductive. So when things are connecting like this, it is, and what I mean with connect, I mean there's been top news around Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool every day for a month, or I don't know, 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. So June 18th, or earlier, because they talked about the green, what was it? The green slime. The green slime. But then they talked about the paint peeling away, the 290 to 300 foot gash through the reflecting pool, which is basically my drawing. And the reason why there is an insanity, let me repeat, okay? Allow me to repeat, okay? The reason why there is insanity is because the keyword Lincoln is connected to something that you cannot find a causality for, okay? So this drawing it claims causality for itself. When it claims causality, there is a lack of causality for those that don't want to admit it, right? So the lack of causality creates insanity, okay? So people go insane, and it's not enough that it is around the Lincoln reflecting pool, but it also spreads to this place, and the food shortage and insanity here. I also want to bring up the fact that the latest... Wait a moment. Yeah, okay. So I also want to bring up the fact that the food shortage and the limitation of space in this Lincoln, USS Abraham Lincoln, reminds of my latest drawing that I did, which is this one, where I have the limited space of the living quarters here, with sort of imprisonment around it and water around it. See here, water and water and being inside here, okay? So that's also a resonance to my latest drawing that is in the very top news, but it also ties together with Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, right? That, yeah, where the paint is loosening and there is some people report of a gash, some people don't, the way that there is no true explanation to what's happening is driving people nuts, okay? People become crazy from it. And it's because, as I said, my drawing claims causality, it claims the cause for itself. When it does that, you have a lack of other causes. You get it? And this, right? So, did I want to say something more? Yeah, so the food shortage and being in a limited space also reminds of this movie, The Last House, that is currently, marketed by Netflix, having the billboard with a man, um, how do you say, shut into the billboard. Meanwhile, you also have the top news of Trump hiding inside a catering truck, right? And the way that Donald Trump was hiding in a catering truck puts him in a limited space, just like this, right? They are also in a limited space of insanity. You see, so these things are connecting to each other, and people, it's like people don't dare to think about this, how they are connected when I see this, it's so obviously connected, and still, you know, uh, how do you say? It makes me a bit pessimistic when people don't comment here, when I can see what's going on and I'm telling you guys what's happening here, but still I see no comments almost. It's so weird. I don't get it why it is like this. But I am not super pretty, most of the people on the internet, they are super beautiful in the how they look, and I don't um, I don't give this. I don't know. People want to be in communities and feel this togetherness. I also like togetherness, but it's always at a certain price. The price for the togetherness is lose your individuality, opinions. I don't know, lose your views, appropriate yourself to the masses, right? This is how our community is, sadly. And I've seen it so many times. I'm still seeing it here because, yeah, as I said, who's here? Who's here commenting on my channel? I would hope that people feel some like that you recognize yourself in my situation and feel the same, that people feel in a similar way, but I'm not so sure anymore that people actually feel what I feel, and people think what I think, I'm not so sure that's going on, and that's just how it is. But when I see this top news here and keyword Lincoln, okay, keyword Lincoln keeps being there, same kind of problems, okay, same kind of problems. What am I meaning? What do I mean? I mean Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool is a place, or is a subject that creates what is it called? It's a subject that creates weakness for the US president. The Lincoln Memorial Pool is a subject that generates shame for someone that wants to change everything, okay? Wants to put his name on everything, his name on everything, right? It's obvious why it is like that when I see it. So why do I even care? I'm not even in the US, you could think. I'm not even there. I'm in Europe, so but when I see this, I see a sort of resonance all over the place when it comes to Trump, okay? I see a sort of resonance that sometimes becomes personal. And saying like that is not entirely seen as a sane like when I say this is maybe something that isn't entirely considered sane to say, like what I just told you. I said that it kind of seems personal. And let's not talk more about that, but yeah, it kind of seems personal. And so why not? And also um, Trump is behaving like a sort of king, okay? And what that does is that it what can I say? What can I say? Yeah, he's behaving like that with changing everything, putting his name on everything, and so on. What that does is that he's signaling around himself, I'm strong, okay? I'm strong. And what that does is that it also tempts me to provoke that and to test it. And but not only that, as I said, it kind of seems personal sometimes what he's doing. And I don't know. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm doing these things, right? Showing you the causality, and I'm telling you that this is humiliating for Trump. This kind of thing, that what happened here, and the way that the causality, like he cannot do that. How do you say? Um, yeah. He's trying to blame someone for the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, right? And here I am actually confessing here, right? I'm confessing. I did cut into the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, right? But this is a problem because the cause isn't physical. It is spiritual, almost like a spiritual cause, which isn't well adjusted to the modern time way of seeing things. But it claims, as I said, it claims the cause, and when it takes the cause for itself, it drives people crazy. And here's part of the consequence. Keyword Lincoln, pool of ocean, food shortage, blah, blah, blah. People jumping overboard, trying to jump overboard. And it's obvious to me that it's connected. It should be obvious to you too. Okay, I think so. It should be obvious. So yeah, bye bye.